Good morning, Picker community. Here is the Green Mountain Picker on the Green Mountain Minute. And I wanted to come on this morning because I just got done watching a video of Chad and his beautiful wife, Kim, on their little morning, Saturday morning startup for their sourcing. It was a pretty good little video. They're kind of funny. I get a big kick out of them. And they do pretty well. So, if you get a chance, make sure you go to watch his video. It's the Green Mountain Picker. I'm sure he's already posted it on his little web page there. He talks about a lot of different things that is really important to picking. One of the primary thing is finding stuff to pick, by finding stuff to sell, and you got to sell it. And if you watch his video, he comes up with some really good points there. If you're hanging on to stuff too long, or when to move it, how to move it, and get rid of it, just unload it. Probably just as bad as that as anybody else, because I got stuff on my store that I probably should have unloaded a while ago. It's just not selling. Refresh your inventory. Keep your inventory fresh if you can. It depends on your stuff too. What your business plan is. Some people have a business plan that's more long term, and then other people are turn and burners, like Chad Pago, the Green Mountain Picker. He's more of a turn and burner. He likes to find it cheap, turn it, makes good money on it. If you find something for $5 or $10 or $20 or $10 and $20, he likes to make his money right back. So, some of that's a really good business plan if you're into making money. You do hit stuff that you pick up for $15 that you can sell for $200, but you don't hit them every day. You're more apt to find that $10, $15 item that you'll be able to make 60 on or 50 on. Don't get discouraged if you find items that you don't make nothing on. That's just the name of the game, the way it works. So I talked about earlier that I'm kind of a free picker. I pick a lot of free items up, so I don't have astronomical price. But that being said, you can pick up a lot of free stuff that just ain't never going to sell. Not on eBay. Now, I'm kind of changing a little bit of my business plan up. I do merchant fulfilled on Amazon right now, and I'm comfortable doing that. That's kind of what my little business plan is building up a little FBA, or not FBA, but Amazon merchant fulfilled warehouse, more or less, because I got the extra space that I can utilize. I got a lot of things I still need to do. I get to get some shelves in here, and I've never been much of a carpenter. I've hated carpentry. I'm just one of those guys that when it comes to nails and screws and boards and stuff, I can do it. I know how to read a tape measure and cut a board, but I just have no patience for building shelves or cabinets. I've always been more of a turn wrench type of guy, mechanical type person. Ever since I was a kid, working on bicycles and lawnmowers and mini bikes and motorcycles, automobiles and stuff like that. I'm more in tune to that, So I've got I've got plenty of lumber. I don't need to buy any shelving. I could probably make some, but I just don't. I guess. But some of that has to be done here. I'm gonna push my business along to the next level. And guess some of my troops are starting to get up there. That's the oldest one, just got out of bed, which is kind of unusual. 7:30 in the morning, she's crawling out of bed. But yeah, it was a really interesting video. I always enjoy their videos anyways, especially when they're out cruising around by themselves. Yeah, the two of them together, they kind of got their little act together where they kind of bicker back and forth a little bit, and it's fun to watch them. So they're a good couple, and enjoy watching them. And uh, he has a lot of good points on how to think about your business when you're doing it. You know, if you're down in the dumps, you're not making any money. You know, things that you can do to boost your sales up, run sales. Always consider that. If you don't know how to do that, contact somebody that'll walk you through it, and they'll show you a little bit about it. Most of the experienced resellers on there can help you with that, or myself, and get you set in the right direction on that. So there's just a Green Mountain Minute. We're just babbling, I guess. Another one that he mentioned today, I was doing a little checking around there. Let's see. I guess Ronnie Hart. By the sounds of it, he pulled in a lot of goodies. He does really well in his area. If you're any familiar with the Boston, Massachusetts, Connecticut area down there, it's kind of I mean, there's poor areas people within that area that have lived around the Boston, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island area that make and items and stuff. Or a lot of people travel through there, and because of a couple of airports, and they're in and around that area there. Of course, that's where the small shipping ports and small shipping port there in Boston, and then there's kind of I guess a Long Island area or whatever. Not Long Island, but the Cape area is kind of known as a higher end type area. I mean, the people in that area, the majority of them work in the Boston area and stuff like that. They make pretty good money, so you're more apt to run across higher end laundry and items and stuff in those areas. So I had a whiner over there again. I don't know. And one of the girls I thought was crying, but yeah, he does pretty well in that area, primarily because of that. I mean, there's probably some areas that are a little crappier than other, and I see that he mentioned on there that the prices in Connecticut were crazy. But for me, living up in Vermont, anything down in Massachusetts and Connecticut or Rhode Island or New York are crazy prices. I mean, I remember driving truck. I go down there, and we're up here. You could go to McDonald's and you could buy a meal for under 10, the whole meal for under $10, and we went down to New Jersey there, and we pulled into a McDonald's down there, and it was like $16 for a cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke. And I'm like, whoa, you know, I was like, that's a little bit pricey, but you know, that's the way it is, you know. So we have some pretty cool areas up here because we got it varies, you know. It varies from where you go from town to town. I mean, you can go to some towns and it's all low end farmer type stuff, you know, and then you got a couple, like if you go around where the colleges are or the ski areas, you're more apt to pick up like your North Face and your, you know, your higher end boots and shoes and stuff like that. So when you're outsourcing, think about the area that you want to go try to check out. Some areas are going to be better than others, you know. It is true that, you know, you can do better in certain areas than somebody may in another area somewhere. You may not have the opportunity to get to those, you know, Burberrys and, you know, all that fancy stuff. You won't see as much of it. I'm not saying you won't get any, I'm just saying you probably won't see as much of it unless you get into the bigger metropolitan areas where, you know, people are more dressy and they're going out, you know, and they're socializing with other people, so they're regurgitating their laundry or their clothing to keep up with the pace of the people around them. You know, it's just part of just like buying a new car. You know, your neighbor buys a new car, so you got to buy a new car. You know, so yeah, you know, it's. I mean, that's only my opinion. I mean, Ronnie may feel differently about it. Chad sees things different down in his area that I don't see here, you know, and you may see something that you know, other people don't see. So you always got to keep just because one guy does really well in an area doesn't mean that you can't. You just have to find those little source and niches, and you don't necessarily have to sell the same types of products that he does. You could find things that you could get into a little niche with, you know, whether it be summer clothing or winter clothing or whatever, you know. Maybe it ain't the suits for you. Maybe it's something else, you know. Maybe it's the brassieres or maybe it's I wouldn't recommend knickknacks and stuff like that. They'll sell, but you're better off to try to slide those into a flea market or a yard sale for a couple bucks a piece. You know, I wouldn't go out and spend money for everyday China items. You know, it's not saying that you can't make money with them. It's just that there's so much of that reproduced garbage out there that everybody and their brother is putting it online to try to sell it. So you want to kind of steer away from that, you know, if you can. You know, I mean, I have some of that stuff here, and I balk on putting it online because what's the heck's the sense of putting something online? It's going to sit there for 6 months, and you got to pay 20 cents or 10 cents a month if you have a store. You know, you got to think about all that. I mean, you have your free listings and stuff like that, but I'm starting to look at my business plan a little differently. So, because my eBay store is more long-term, you know, I'm kind of in the middle. I kind of like what Ronnie Hatt does, and I kind of like what Chad Pagel does, you know, a few others there. I haven't had a chance. I've kind of intrigued with a couple different to talking about later, maybe in another show after I do some more research about them and maybe get a chance to visit with them a little bit. There's a couple individuals that Dusty, I'd like to sit down with him someday and have a little chat with him because he seems very knowledgeable. He's a smart kid. He's been at it for a little while, and you know, he seems to do okay. So, you know, there's a few people out there that they're just normal everyday sellers. I'm not talking about the guy that's you know, making $700,000 a year. But, you know, I'm looking more towards the guy that's the average guy. I mean, there's guys out there that are making good money doing it, but they started out somewhere. And then some of these guys are trying to push their sellers, whether it be private labeling or whatever. But my opinion on that is you need to start your business in baby steps. You know, if you're comfortable making $50,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, and you can pay your bills, and you can get by, and you can have a decent vehicle to drive, and you can cover all your taxes and your insurances and all that stuff, and you can feel comfortable with that, then I advise you to do that. You know, if you don't think you're going to be comfortable going to that $200,000 a year level, you think it's going to be too much for you, you know, stay at the $150,000 to $100,000 level. If you can do that, it's a lot of work just to get to that level. You know, I am nowhere near that level. I'm still on the ground level. You know, I watch some videos. I've gotten to the point where I don't really watch as many videos as I used to, because it is very time consuming, and it does take a lot of time out of your day. And but I'm not saying don't watch videos, because if you're looking for a little bit of entertainment, if you're looking for some knowledge, all you need to do is pump in what you're looking for into YouTube, and you can find it. If it's anything from doing how to clean battery acid from, you know, electronics, or how to, post your clothing, or what kinds of different types of clothing that you have, or whatever the case may be. No. And so where was I? Got totally interrupted. But yeah, I guess it's just a rant this morning, Sunday morning rant. But I do want to give a shout out to those guys I just mentioned there. The Golden Finger Picker, he has 2 little shows that he does. I think generally one on Wednesday, maybe not every Wednesday, but he'll announce it. You can find that on his Facebook page, the Golden Finger Picker. He has another show generally on Sunday afternoon, somewhere in the afternoon, 2 o'clock or so sometimes. Not every week, but he will announce it. Find that on the Golden Finger Picker Facebook page. It's called The Picker's Church. It's generally just a short little 1-hour video hangout where him and a few of his buddies there come up and have a little shoot shit session about different little things. Sometimes that's interesting. It's generally Ronnie Hart, who another little dude there. Oh God, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, it's about 3-4 of them in the end, sometimes more. And they have a little chat session about their progress through the week, or how to try to encourage people to. My philosophy on that, if you want to make it a business work, you can't lay in bed till 10 o'clock every day. You can't have 12 cups of coffee before you walk over to your computer. You gotta get up, get motivated, get moving. There are reselling. Is reselling Rollins? Ronan. Yeah, reselling Ronan. That's Paul Grumman. Is it Grumman? Yeah, something like that. Anyways, he's got a little show that he does. It's called the Reseller Wake Up. They're on 3 times a week, I believe. I generally try to, if I'm around, I'll pop in and just watch the show for a little bit. He's a little long, but it's, for the most part, they have a lot of good information on there. They talk about some very interesting things. Paul is really knowledgeable on video games and stuff like that. And if there's end of it, you could contact him, and he can help you with some of your answers on that. He's like an encyclopedia when it comes to video games. You tell him what the video game is, and he can pretty much tell you what it's worth right off the top of his head. So he's really good, knowledgeable about that. I think he does eBay and a little bit of FBA. I can't be 100% sure. He's got a couple panel members that usually hangs out with him in the morning. Deborah, and then there's the girl from Profit Talk there, Danica. Others every now and then they'll get on there, and and sometimes they get off topic, but hey, for the most part, it's a good little morning show. I sometimes just turn it on, just listen to them in the background while I'm trying to do some work around the house or something like that, while I'm busy doing other things, or doing some taking pictures or something like that. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, here's our Sunday morning rant. I don't know, getting old. I gotta get out there and do some work. Broke my truck yesterday. Yeah, that was really impressive. Went down to go put some new tires on the damn thing, and next thing I know, I looked down, my alternator gauge went boop, right to the bottom. And I was like, "Ooh, what's wrong with this?" So we pulled over, and I hopped out and crawled up in there because I'm a little short guy, so I had to like scale that thing to get up into the hood. And I looked down, and there weren't no belt in there. The big serpentine belt was gone. So I'd been having a little problem with my power steering unit. It was leaking a little bit, so I reached down there to grab the pulley to see if it was froze, and then I thought maybe it was froze and I burnt the belt. Pulley and the whole guts and everything fell right out. I just spent a few $100s for tires. Now it's going to cost me another $150, $200 to get that fixed. Yeah, so that's my only vehicle right now. So we're out one vehicle until we can. I mean, I got 4 vehicles, but only one was running. So yeah. So the Green Mountain Picker, he's without wheels for till Tuesday, anyways. I got a guy. I got to go pick up the part. I got a guy going to put it on for me. World events. That's part of life. Probably a good thing I don't have to go sourcing. I got more damn crap, and I got stuff right behind me that's going to be hauled out of here, and I got to move. So I hope you enjoyed my little rant. I really didn't have a whole lot to talk about today. I was kind of impressed with Chad's little video this morning. It was kind of funny. So yeah, if you guys get motivated, get out there, get up in the morning. A lot of you guys are outsourcing right now, and be safe. Find some good items. If you got the access to resource it while you're out there at the yard sales, do that. If you can't too much for items, and get that stuff home, get that camera moving and pumping those pictures out and get that stuff online. So that's the only way you're going to make your money. And it's a Green Mountain Picker for the Green Mountain Minute. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Oh, please subscribe, hit like, and share. Green Mountain Picker on the Green Mountain Minute. Thank you.